Please come to order. I would ask everyone to stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight's invocation is being offered by Councilmember Charlie Tigert.
Let us pray. Our Father, we are so thankful for the many blessings you have bestowed upon us. We're thankful to live in a city, a state, and a country where democracy reigns. We ask you to put your healing hand on those that are suffering, and we especially want you to protect our military personnel, past and present, who are protecting our freedoms. We ask in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Without objection, we'll suspend the calling of the roll and ask the clerk to record the names of the members present throughout the meeting. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes of our July 16th meeting? We have a motion and a second. Without objection, the minutes will stand approved as written. Madam Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
There are no messages from the mayor.
Thank you. Before we begin this evening, I want to remind everyone that at our next meeting, we will be electing the chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee, the chair of the Traffic and Parking Committee, and the Vice Mayor Pro Tem. The Traffic and Parking and the Planning and Zoning are 2-year terms. The Pro Tem is a 1-year term, and we will have those elections at our next meeting. Next, we have a proposed rule change. Councilmember Duvall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Committee report, please.
Councilman Davis.
Yes, Rules Committee voted to disapprove 0, 4, and 8 against.
Thank you, Councilman Duvall.
I would like to withdraw the rule change based on the wisdom of the committee.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for withdrawal. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The motion to withdraw passes. We're now at elections and confirmations. Councilmember Anthony Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. A couple this evening. First, for the Community Corrections Advisory Board, we had Ms. Martisa Johnson. Committee recommended, she is a reappointment. Committee recommended 8-4-0 against, and I move her approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes.
For the Board of Equalization, first-time appointment, Mr. Parker Toller. Committee recommended 8-4-0 against, and I'll move his approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes.
And for the Metro Tourism and Convention Commission, Mr. Randy Miller, committee voted to defer 8-4-0 against. And I move for deferral.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the one meeting deferral, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you. Ms. Johnson, will you please stand and let us recognize you? On behalf of the Metro Council, thank you for your willingness to continue your service to our great city. Thank you very much. We are now at bills on public hearing. BL 2013-489 makes provisions for 1,304.49 acres of the Murfreesboro Road Urban Design Overlay to various properties located along Anderson Road, Bell Road, Forest View Road, Hamilton Church Road, Hamilton Crossing, Hobson Pike, Hurricane Creek Boulevard, Logistics Way, Maxwell Road, Morris Gentry Boulevard, Mountain Springs Road, Mountain View Circle, Mountain View Road, Murfreesboro Pike, Old Hickory Boulevard, Parks Retreat Drive, Pinhook Road, Rural Hill Road, and Summercrest Boulevard. Councilmember Dow.
Move for public hearing.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing none on either side, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Dow.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-490 changes 130.74 acres from R10 to RS10 zoning for various properties located along Anton Drive, Creekside Drive, East Ridge Drive, Haywood Lane, Keeley Drive, Lotuswood Drive, Packard Drive, and West Valley Drive. Councilmember Potts.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I move to open the public hearing, please.
Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Potts.
I'd like to move approval, please.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-491 changes .81 acres from IR to MULA zoning for property located at 4111 Charlotte Avenue. Councilmember Holloman. We'll move it to the hill of the public hearing agenda. BL 2013-492 amends .2 acres of the Blakemore Primitive Baptist Specific Plan District for property located at 2411B Blakemore Avenue to construct a roof over an outdoor terrace along Blakemore Avenue and to modify conditions in the original SP approval pertaining to outdoor music, hours of operation, and allowance of outdoor events. Councilmember Allen.
Move to open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing none on either side, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Allen.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-493 changes .2 acres from RS 7.5 to R6 zoning for property located at 3533 Brick Church Pike. Councilmember Hunt.
Thank you, Madam President. Please open up a public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, do you wish to speak in support? Seeing no one wishing to speak, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Hunt.
Move for approval, please.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-494 changes .98 acres from R6 to MUNA zoning for properties located at 1916, 1918, 1920, 2000, 2002, 2004, and 2006 Eastland Avenue. Councilmember Westerholm.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I move to open public hearing.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, do you wish to speak in support? I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Westerholm.
I move for indefinite deferral with a brief explanation.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. This property is one where we have had a number of neighborhood meetings. The reason for the indefinite deferral is that the neighbors felt more comfortable about this zone change with the application of a conservation overlay, which was achieved by extending an adjacent overlay district. There's been a slight slowdown on that process, so the purpose of this is to defer indefinitely. When the extension of the conservation overlay catches up, then we'll be moving forward with both of them together. So just to give you guys an explanation of what that, if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me in the meantime. And with that, I move for the indefinite
We have a
deferral.
motion and a second for indefinite deferral. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2013-495, changes .18 acres from OR 20 to OR 20A zoning for property located at 813 19th Avenue North. Councilmember Langster.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Move to open the public hearing, please.
Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing none on either side, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Langster.
Move for approval, please.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-496 changes 2.17 acres from IWD to MUL zoning for property located at 270 Venture Circle. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you. Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-497 changes 12.24 acres from SP to MUZ zoning for property located at 4235 Murfreesboro Pike. Councilmember Duvall.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Duvall.
I'd like to move for approval, please.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're going back to BL 2013-491, changes .81 acres from IR to MULA zoning for property located at 4111 Charlotte Avenue. Is there a motion for its deferral to we have a motion and a second. All in favor of a one-meeting deferral, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Sorry, September public hearing. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We are now at resolutions on the consent agenda. I will read them, and then you can tell me if any need to be pulled. There is one that is not on the consent agenda, and that is RS 2013-798. So if that is on your committee report, just skip that when you give it, and we'll come back to it. 785 authorizes submission of a foreign trade subzone application and approves an agreement between Metro and DHL for operation of the subzone. Okay. I've been advised this one needs to not be on the consent agenda because there is a substitute. 786 approves an amendment to the intergovernmental agreement between Metro Government and the Sports Authority related to the Bridgestone Arena. 787 approves an intergovernmental agreement between Metro Government and the Sports Authority for the construction of a new hockey facility. 788 approves an application for the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant from the U.S. Department of Justice to the Metro Police Department for equipment and supplies. 789 approves a grant from the State Office of Criminal Justice Programs to the Mayor's Office to fund a Family Justice Center site coordinator. 790 approves an annual grant from the State Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services to the state trial courts of the drug court program. 791 approves a grant from the State Administrative Office of the Courts to the state trial courts for interpreter services for indigent defendants with limited English proficiency. 792 approves a grant from the State Department of Human Services to the Metro Social Services Commission for homemaker services. 793 approves a grant from the State Department of Health to the Metro Health Department to provide tender care community outreach services for enrolled children. 794 approves an amendment to a grant from the Greater Nashville Regional Council to the Metro Social Services Commission for congregate meal and transportation services for eligible seniors and disabled residents. 795 approves an amendment to a grant from the State Department of Health to the Metro Board of Health to provide school-based oral disease prevention services to children that qualify for TennCare. 796 approves an amendment to a grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to the Metro Board of Health to enhance access to community-based care for low-income individuals and families with HIV disease. 797 approves an amendment to a contract between the Metro Board of Health and Vanderbilt University for the Health Department's participation in Tuberculosis Trials Consortium. 799 approves an agreement between the Metro Board of Health and the University of Tennessee to provide clinical experience opportunities to students enrolled in various health professions. 800 authorizes Metro government to accept certain incomplete road and stormwater infrastructure located in the fields of Brick Church. 801 approves a state grant from the Tennessee State Library and Archives to the National Public Library for a target library materials to persons having difficulty using a library and to the disadvantaged. 802 authorizes the Director of Public Property Administration to exercise an option to purchase property located on Delray Drive for the use in the park system. 803 authorizes the Director of Public Property Administration to exercise an option to purchase 2 parcels of property located on Old Glen Rose Avenue for the use in the park system. 804 authorizes the Department of Law to compromise and settle the lawsuit brought by Les Bud Buckner against Metropolitan Government in the amount of $50,000. 805 approves the election of notaries public for Davidson County. 806 recognizes Mount Lebanon Missionary Baptist Church on their 150th anniversary, and 807 recognizes the installation of a bench at Riverfront Park in memory of Tara Cole as a reminder of the senseless violence acts against homeless persons in Nashville. Are there any of these that need to be pulled from the consent agenda? Okay, I need committee reports. Councilmember Matthews.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The Budget and Finance voted to approve all items on the consent agenda, 10 for, 0 against.
Thank you. Yeah.
Pull one.
I'm sorry, I didn't see your light come on.
That's
I
okay.
apologize. Yes, sir.
Need to pull 801, I believe, not 801, but 803.
The one dealing with Old Glen Rose Avenue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Dow.
Convention and Tourism approved 786, 540 against, and 787 passed, 540 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Weiner.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Health Hospitals voted to approve all items on the consent agenda, 7 for, 0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Gilmore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Parks, Library, and Recreation, Public Entertainment Facility Committee approved 5 for and 0 against all.
Thank you. Councilmember Glover.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Planning and Zoning approved 800 and 802, 4 for, 0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Bennett.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Safety approved 788, 540 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Potts.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Public Works voted to approve RS 2013-800, 7 for, 0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Anthony Davis.
Thank you. Rules approved 805 and 806, 8 for, 0 against, and I'd like to move approval of the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Come back to this after we finish. Okay. Okay, next we have, not on the consent agenda, 2013-785 authorizes submission of a foreign trade subzone application and approves an agreement between Metro and DHL for operation of the subzone. Councilmember Matthews.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. There's a substitute, and I'd like to move the substitute at this point.
And the budget, the
The
committee
Budget and
report.
Finance Committee report, it was approved as substituted, 10-4-0 against. And I'd
Thank
like to
you.
move the substitute.
We have a motion and a second on the substitute. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Substitute passes.
I'd like to move the bill as substituted.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the bill as substituted, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is RS 2013-798, approves an agreement between the Metro Board of Health and Tennessee State University to provide clinical experience opportunities to students enrolled in the Master of Public Health program. Councilmember Weiner.
Yes, committee report would be, we voted 7-4-0 against for indefinite deferral. And I'd like to move indefinite deferral.
We have a motion and a second on indefinite deferral. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-803 authorizes the Director of Public Property Administration to exercise an option to purchase 2 parcels of property located on Old Glen Rose Avenue for the use in the park system. Councilmember Matthews.
Madam Vice Mayor, if I could, I would like to defer my time to Councilmember Tenpenny.
I need to get some
committee reports. I'm sorry.
Councilmember Glover on 803.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Planning and Zoning, 4-4-0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Gilmore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Parks and Recreation and Library, 803, 5-4-0 against.
Councilmember Matthews.
Budget and Finance voted to approve, 10-4-0 against, and I'd like to defer the rest of my time to Councilmember Tenpenny.
Councilmember Tenpenny.
Thank you, Committee Chair. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to defer this bill for this resolution for one meeting. Parks and Recreations, this is, this affects my district only. This parcel of land only affects my district. I was not notified of the purchase of the land through Parks and Recreations, and I do ask that if that happens again, that Parks and Recreations do contact me and make sure that I'm in this process. So I'll ask for one meeting deferral so I can talk with Parks and Recreations.
We have a motion for a one meeting deferral and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The one meeting deferral passes. Councilman Holloman, did you wish to be recognized?
Yes, Madam Vice Mayor. Let me begin by saying I apologize, but I want to move to suspend the rules and ask for reconsideration of the bill that was deferred until September.
Rescind action on the deferral.
Right, I wanted to suspend the rules to rescind action, which would then allow us to open the public hearing. And can I just say that there are 2 reasons for this. One is that the developer who's here with us tonight, who has done a lot of work in the community to make this a opponent-free public hearing that should be short and won't indulge too much of her time, has a closing date of September 16th. So it is important that we move forward tonight. And 2, the reason for my tardiness was that I was at my Night Out Against Crime and didn't think we would get this deep into the agenda in 10 minutes, so I apologize. So with that, I move to suspend the rules.
Is there any objection to a suspension of the rules? Seeing none, Councilmember Holloman.
I move to rescind adoption on second reading.
Rescind action on the deferral.
Oh, I'm sorry. I moved to
You're moving to rescind action on the deferral. We
That's
have a
correct.
motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion to rescind the action passes. Councilmember Holloman.
I move to open the public hearing.
We will open the public hearing for 491, changes .81 acres from IR to MULA zoning for property located at 4111 Charlotte Avenue. Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing no one wishing to speak, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Holloman.
Move to close the public hearing. I'm sorry, you closed it. So I
closed it
move approval on second. I'm going to get there before we're done.
We have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no.
Thank you for your indulgence.
Motion passes. We're now at bills on introduction and first reading.
I got to get to mine.
I think we have one of these. Is there one, Councilmember Scott Davis? Which one would you like to pull?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to pull Bill number 2013-513 and Bill number 2013-514.
Any others? Is there a motion for approval of all other bills on introduction and first reading? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-513, we could take these together, and 514. They basically do the same. Okay. Okay. Changing from MUG, CSCL, and OR20, RS5, R6, OL, SP, RS10, and RS7.5 to MUGA, MULA, and OR20A zoning for properties located along Gallatin Avenue, Gallatin Pike, Main Street between South 5th Street and Briley Parkway. For 514, it changes 213.96 acres from MUG, CSCL, OR20, RS5, R6, OL, SP, RS10, and RS7. I am so sorry. Okay. We're going to do this one more time. 514 makes provisions for the Gallatin Pike Urban Design Overlay to various properties and a portion of property located along Gallatin Avenue, Gallatin Pike, and Main Street between South 5th Street and Briley Parkway for a total of 213.96 acres. Councilmember Anthony Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move approval of 513 and 514 with a brief comment.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Councilman?
Yes, thanks for everyone for indulging this. Basically, we're the three of us that are wanting to continue to move this forward. Just asking you to trust us on the process here. We'll be in front of the Planning Commission this Thursday, so hoping to get more feedback on the bills there. We've been taking input along the way here. We've had a couple of really good neighborhood meetings. The planning staff hosted a really great meeting for us where we looked at the three areas of Gallatin Road. Very well attended from Gallatin Road business owners, residents in East Nashville, and a lot of business leaders. We've also had a chamber business meeting, and we've had an Inglewood neighborhood meeting. So very unusual. We're pulling this on first reading. We're just asking you trust us and help us move this forward, and please vote against the deferral and move this process forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Scott Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. My reasons for pulling these two pieces of legislation, I don't do it, very easily, but I do it because I have to listen to my property owners in my district. And plain and simple, I think the process is moving too fast. My distinguished colleague has stated that we've had a couple of meetings. At all those meetings, there have been significant opposition. And whether or not if it's been very loud, it certainly has been with the property owners on my side of Gallatin and Main Street. I'm asking that we do a one-meeting deferral, and if Mr. Cooper, if you could explain to the folks back at home, most of the time when we have a zoning bill presented by the Planning Commission, it goes to planning first. And then it's voted by the Planning Commission first, then it comes to us on first reading.
Typically, that is true. There's no rule or law that requires that, but that's the usual course of action that it takes.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. The problem is it's scaring a lot of our business constituents. It's scaring a lot of my citizens who are my voters and are in my district who also own property on Gallatin Road. and the process is moving too fast for them. And mainly right now, I'm asking is that we just defer it to let the people be heard at the Planning Commission meeting on Thursday. Even if this is deferred by one meeting, the planning process can still go on Thursday as normal. Is that correct, Mr. Cooper?
The planning commission process could go on. It would defer the public hearing until October. I mean, it would delay the public hearing until October.
Okay. No problem. Thank you, Mr. Cooper. I'll yield the rest of my time.
Councilmember Westerholm.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I would just have a brief comment as well to ask for your support in moving forward in this process. This is a process that began years ago and crafted a vision that we are really looking to move forward with. If there's opposition, there are plenty of opportunities for that opposition to voice itself at public hearings, both this Thursday and again in September at the public hearing before council. I would ask you to support us in moving forward at this point in time. First reading is not a point in which we debate the merits of a bill. This is to get it before us in a proper form as we are trying to do. So I'd encourage you to support moving forward on this bill today on first reading. Thank you.
Councilmember Bennett.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I rise again with my colleagues to share that we would like this to move forward on the first reading. This is not a fast track. It's not really out of the ordinary. We just want to go ahead and get the first reading through, and we are continuing to have community meetings. We will have several more in the process of all this. So we do ask for your support, and I won't belabor the issue. Thank you.
Councilmember Allen.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I just wanted to clarify, so there are public meetings continuing, and there will be the opportunity at both second and third reading for deferrals if that seems appropriate. Is that true, Mr. Cooper? Okay, thank you.
Okay, the motion before us is for approval. We have a motion to approve both. We have a motion and a second for approval of the two that were pulled from the consent agenda. Councilmember Maynard.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to defer my time to Councilmember Davis, please.
Which one?
This one right there.
He was next in the queue.
This guy. Yes, I just want to be clear. Of course, we can still defer on second or third if we're still having community issues, and I renew my motion to approve, but just want to make sure, of course, as the process continues, we'll be open to compromises, deferrals, anything that we see fit along with the process. Thank you, and I renew my motion to approve.
Councilmember Banks.
I'd like to yield my time to Councilman Davis, this one.
He was next in the queue. Councilmember Scott Davis.
On this motion to defer, I would like to request a machine vote.
There is no motion to defer yet.
I'd like to move to defer this bill for one meeting, and also like to ask for a machine vote, please.
Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. I need 5 people to request a machine vote. Please raise your hand. We're going to have a machine vote on the motion to defer one meeting. Madam Clerk, please open the machines. Madam Clerk, please close the machines and tally the vote.
Aye, 20 no, 0 abstentions.
The motion to defer fails.
21.
We're back to the original motion of move to approve. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're now at bills on second reading. BL 2013-508 amends the Metro Code pertaining to the procedures of the submission of complaints alleging violations of the standard of conduct. Councilmember Anthony Davis.
Rules Committee report, which would be me. Rules Committee voted to approve 8-4, 0 against. And I'd like to move approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-509 declares parcels of Metro government-owned property to be surplus and authorizes the Director of Public Property Administration to sell the property. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Glover.
Planning and Zoning, 4-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Matthews.
Budget and Finance approved, 10-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you. I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-510 authorizes Metro government to negotiate and accept permanent and temporary easements for the Hydes Ferry Road Stormwater Improvement Project for 21 properties along Ashton Avenue, Elizabeth Road, Hydes Ferry Road, and John Mallet Drive. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Glover.
Planning and Zoning approved, 4-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Potts.
Public Works voted to approve, 7-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Harrison.
I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-511 authorizes Metro government to abandon 218 linear feet of existing 36-inch stormwater pipe located at 465 Donaldson Pike. Councilmember Potts.
Committee reports.
Councilmember Glover.
Planning and Zoning approved, 4-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Potts.
Public Works voted to approve, 7-4, 0 against. I move approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-512 authorizes Metro government to accept permanent and temporary easements for the Old Matthews Road Stormwater Improvement Project for properties located along Old Matthews Road, Brick Church Pike, and Gwenwood Road. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Glover.
Planning and Zoning approved, 4-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Potts.
Public Works voted to approve, 7-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Harrison.
I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2012-103, changes 40.18 acres from RM6 to SP zoning for property located at Franklin Limestone Road, unnumbered, east of Antioch Pike, to include temporary mineral extraction, allowing blasting and crushing of stone for sale transfer from the site during site preparation for the asphalt plant. Councilmember Dominy.
Vice Mayor, I move deferral for one meeting by rule.
I need one committee report. Councilmember Glover. I'm sorry. Okay. Never mind. I don't really. No matter what the paper says, I don't need that. We have a motion that is deferred by rule. Second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. RS 2013-353 changes .26 acres from RS 10 to SP zoning for property located at 316 Tanksley Avenue to permit accessory vehicle parking and storage building. Councilmember Tenpenny.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to defer this for 2 meetings.
We have a motion and a second for a 2-meeting deferral. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-469 changes .454 acres from RS 7.5 and CN to SP zoning for properties located at 132 and 134 46th Avenue North to permit up to 3 single-family residential units and an office, restaurant, and/or retail uses. Councilmember Holloman.
Committee report, please.
Councilmember Glover.
Planning and Zoning deferred by rule.
Councilmember Holloman.
Now, Vice Mayor, I'm going to try to not make eye contact with you during this time, and I'm going to move to suspend the rules. And the nature of my emergency is that this bill moved and the committee closed at 4:33, and I promise I arrived at 4:34, and I sure did think that we'd still be in session at that time. So with that, I moved to suspend the rules.
Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday.
Okay.
That's 2 in a row. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to look at you.
Yesterday and today.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'll stay after.
Is there any objection to a suspension of the rules? Seeing none, Councilmember Holloman.
That was a long pause, Vice Mayor. You gave everybody plenty of time to think about that.
Punctuality is key.
I move approval on third.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-476 amends the Metro Code pertaining to regulation of booting services. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. In the absence of the main sponsor, Councilman McGuire, he wants us to move this, so I'll kindly ask you to approve this.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-498 amends the Metro Code to establish a community garden grant program. Councilmember Tiger.
Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-499 amends the Metro Code pertaining to the membership composition of the Community Education Commission. Councilmember Stein.
Councilman Holloman, I'm here for you. I move approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-500 amends the Metro Code to allow beer distributors to have more than one place of business within the area of Metro government. Councilmember Stein.
Move approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-501 names Fire Station Number 9 in honor of Robert Bobby Glenn Conley. Councilmember Holloman.
I just want to take a minute to tell everybody how much I appreciate them tonight. And then I want to move approval on third for Captain Conley. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-502 relinquishes Metro government's interest in the former West Nashville Police Precinct property located on Charlotte Pike. Councilmember Baker.
All committees in, I move approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-503 approves an agreement with Global Mall Partnership for the exchange of property located at the former Hickory Hollow Mall site. Councilmember Dow.
Move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-504 authorizes Metro government to enter into a participation agreement with Patel Memorial Institute to investigate the performance of sewer rehabilitation liners. Councilmember Matthews.
I'd like to move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-505 authorizes the acquisition and acceptance of right-of-way easements, construction easements, and other property rights at the Riverside Drive and McGavick Pike intersection. Councilmember Anthony Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All committees in, I'd like to move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
BL 2013-506 abandons the easement rights that were retained by ordinance number 082-1047 when a portion of 50th Avenue North right-of-way was abandoned on property located at 4915 Louisiana Avenue. Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2013-507 abandons water and sewer mains and associated easements and accepts replacement mains on property located at 2500 Charlotte Avenue for construction of the new Lentz Public Health Center. Councilmember Potts.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd like to move approval.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember Maynard.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like the Vice Mayor, if you would ask the police officer to arrest all the gnats that are running around here, please.
Okay, we will now go back. All in favor of 507, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We will clear the room now if there is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.